Okay, let's not mess around. If you're watching this video, you know who Matt Mercer is. He is the king of the nerds. 90% of the reason 80% of new players are playing D&D. But what happens when you take the Forever DM and let him loose with a player character? That's what's happening right now in Exandria Unlimited. Is Matt Mercer even any good at playing a PC? Yes, he's great. There's no f***ing suspense here, I'm just gonna tell you, he's really good. But we can learn from these skills, and by learn, I of course mean steal them and use them in our games. Let's break down how Matt Mercer plays a PC.
Minor spoilers for Exandria Unlimited Episode 1.
Part 1. Props. So the first of 3 elements I want to break down is Matt's use of props. In this campaign, Matt plays a sorcerer named Dariax. Now, most players, myself included, would sort of, build our character and then look at our gear last and be like, okay, this is what I've got, let's get playing. And then you sort of forget about your gear. I mean, gear doesn't matter until combat, right? Matt Mercer does not do this. Matt Mercer opens his story pretty much by asking a simple question.
Where'd my spear go? And he just starts looking for his spear, which he doesn't know where it is, right?
Yes, okay.
See, Matt uses this spear as a prop to add flavor to his actions and hook to his narrative. So when he's acting, he'll hold the spear out, or when he wants to illuminate an area, he'll charge the light through the tip of his spear. Normally a spear is just a weapon, something for combat and nothing else. It's not really important. But Matt makes it important. He also carries a compass around his neck, which he uses to focus his magic through, again, as a prop, all the way through the story. In short, Matt takes normal items and turns them into narrative artifacts, and that makes the experience so much more visceral and tangible and real to other players, the DM, himself, and us as viewers. It is awesome, and it's through Matt's attention to his props that we get great moments, like the PP spear.
Is that a PP spear you have in your hand right now?
Well, it's a spear.
With PP on it.
Right.
This is something any PC or DM can do. Make yourself a prop, make it an artifact or a weapon, and cool stuff will just happen. That's how Matt Mercer does it, and it leads us very nicely into part 2.
I'm legitimately not following any of this stuff.
Part 2. Creativity, environment, and style. Probably my favorite thing about watching Matt play is how goddamn stylish he is with his spells. Let's take a look at a moment I mentioned earlier, when Dariax lights up a room. So Dariax drops into a dark area, and then he makes an athletics check to see how he lands. He rolled very well, and then this happens.
18.
Wow.
Woo. You land with some style. No one sees it. It's dark down here.
No, but I cast light on myself as I land.
Nice.
You all get just a little flash of dwarven quad.
Oh.
As the light bursts out, and you feel it more than see it, but the darkness seems to eat the light up around you until it's just a little dome of whatever you cast it on.
I just went ahead and cast it on the symbol in front of me.
Yeah, it's like a bubble of a foot of light.
That makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I go from this super confident landing to...
Right.
Now, is there any real advantage to Dariax using light as he lands? No. He does it purely for style, because he wants people to see his awesome superhero landing.
Woo! Superhero landing! Yeah, that's really hard on your knees.
Totally impractical, they all do it.
This is how you know when someone is really fucking good. When they're familiar enough with their spells and abilities to frame events that suits them or their character. But also, him doing this isn't just cool, it actually leads to plot development, because it lets Abria give information about their environment in a very organic way. I've got another example, and look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but hear me out. There's a bit at the beginning of the show where Matt realizes his spear is covered in piss.
Is that a
When Matt finds this out, he hesitates for just a second, looks at his screen, and then moves on. And I think he was considering using prestidigitation to clean it. Prestidigitation can clean stuff, but Matt chose not to, because it's funnier.
Nah, I'm just gonna pick it up.
Look, I got no proof if he actually has that spell, but if he does, that is genius. It's a creative use of not using a spell to... What the fuck is that? Yeah, that's the lower third I ordered. It's supposed to remind people to like and subscribe. It's gross! Get it out of the video. Oh, it's getting nearer. Get it out! It's slimy! What the fuck? In short, Matthew Mercer uses spells not just for their practical value, but to create moments for us to enjoy as viewers, and opportunity for roleplay. So the advice here is to get familiar and creative with your spells, and you will naturally find cool ways to use them, and progress the plot at the same time. Part 3. Bad choices are good choices? Metagaming is when we use real-life knowledge that our characters should not know to inform our decisions. It is usually a bad thing to do, but most people do it on some level. Matthew Mercer does not. Like, not at all. And damn, that is a hard thing to do. I'll give you an example. There is a moment when Matt's character attempts to lethally attack an NPC that other players have gone to great lengths not to kill. Most players, I believe, would say I also attack non-lethally, sort of out of respect for the other people around the table. Because, you know, we're all playing the same game and I don't want to be the guy who ruins everyone else's fun by attacking this guy and killing it. However, Matt is so committed to what his character knows, what his character sees, and what his character would do, that he attacks lethally, to the potential detriment of the party. He's not being a dick, he's not actively ruining stuff, but he's not afraid of making mistakes. And while we're on that point, Matt Mercer's actually quite a cheeky player character. There's another moment when everyone's sort of sneaking around to try and ambush this potential enemy, and Matt's character just walks right up to them.
I'm already walking to the door.
Matt's character missed part of the conversation, so he is justified in just walking up to this person. He doesn't know they have a plan. But in his position, I'd be nervous about ruining other people's fun or, you know, throwing things off course. But that would be metagaming. I would actually be limiting their opportunity to react on the fly, and thus limit the entire table. Also, this tactic of making suboptimal decisions is really powerful in a narrative sense. Because, you know what? It keeps the story going. We never rest in one place too long, because Matt is an active player. He's gonna do stuff, he's not gonna worry, and so shit is gonna kick off. I also just love how Matthew Mercer's answer to not metagaming in a world that he literally created, he knows everything about, is to make his character a complete dumbass. Fucking genius. So basically, yeah, Matt Mercer is really good at playing a PC, and Exandria Unlimited is amazing. Hopefully this analysis might give you something to think about when you're next sitting down at the table, and if you like this video, you'd probably like other ones on my channel, so you know, check them out. Hit like if you want more Critical Role analysis, subscribe, and thanks for watching.